Everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, I'm out here testing another new piece of gear. Something that is not only brand new to me, but something that's brand new on the market. Now, you guys might remember last year I did a video about the ferro rod. It was a bushcraft basics video, basically teaching people how to use a ferro rod, what to look for in purchasing a ferro rod. And at that time, I showed everybody my personal favorite was the Uberleben, and showed that thing just puts out a shower of sparks, lasts a very long time, and you'll be glad to know it is still my favorite brand of ferro rod. But what's new is Uberleben just came out with a new ferro rod, the first on the market, that is hexagon shaped. It is 6 inches long, 1/2 inch in diameter, and shaped like a hexagon. So the big difference is when you strike a round ferro rod, you're getting a very narrow strip of the ferro rod against the metal. The idea behind the hexagon ferro rod is that you would get an entire flat side to strike on. And as I said before, Uberleben is the best ferro rod that I've ever used, so I am very excited to test this out. So my old Uberleben, it's kind of a tongue twister if you say Uberleben several times fast. Worked very well, put out good sparks. Okay, I'm going to try the new Hexafire from Uberleben. Got to get the black wore down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's just a nice shower. Nice. So I'm just getting the black off. So when I get that black all the way off there, it's going to work a little bit better. But definitely puts out a nice shower of sparks. Okay, so let's try this out a little bit. Something simple to start with. Cotton ball with Vaseline. Should go in a single strike. Well, maybe two. Okay. There we go. Well, it took a few strikes, but it's been in my pack for a long time and is actually a little bit damp. Okay. All right. Now let's try it on some natural tinder. I've gathered up a bundle of dry grasses from around me here. And I'm going to kind of fluff up a little spot in the middle. Make a little bird's nest. Let's try this out. Some natural material. There we go. Nice, very nice. And I noticed just as I'm getting more of the black wore off, I'm getting more and more sparks every time. When I first started out, it wasn't that impressive, but as I get more of the black wore off, it is really putting out a nice shower of sparks. Okay. All right. I also gathered up a whole bunch of sagebrush bark. I'm out here on the high desert of eastern Oregon today, and so sagebrush is everywhere. Probably the #1 go-to tinder source that's out here. And it's been out in the sun so it's a little dry. Let's fluff up me a little spot here and see if we can't get this sagebrush bark to ignite. If I was out here in a survival situation and I had just my knife and ferro rod, this sagebrush bark would be my go-to source. There we go. Very nice. A little tip for you guys: when you are out here and it has been raining like it was just a couple days ago, if you find some bigger pieces of sagebrush, the underside, the side that faces the ground, will have dry pieces of bark on it, whereas the top will be wet. So if you reach up underneath and start pulling off long strips from a few different pieces of sagebrush, which I did there, you'll get some nice dry material that will ignite real easy with just sparks. And the way I did that, just to show you guys, now when I first started using this, I was doing a quick pull, and I know that that's what a lot of guys do. They'll do a quick pull and try to get a shower off that, but I prefer to put my rod right down in the material and do heavy, slow strikes. Like so. So when I did the grass and when I did the sagebrush, that's what I did. I just did like a couple heavy, slow strikes, and that got quite a bit of sparks in there. And as you've seen, both of them went up easy. So I'm going to experiment with this some more. I have to be honest, there's not as big of a difference between it and the round one as I thought. Well, doing them side by side like that, now maybe I was wrong. Well, there is a definite difference. It's not as big of a difference as I thought it would be, but there is a definite difference. I am getting a few more sparks and stuff, and they are about the same price, whether you want round or hexagon. So I am going to go ahead and add this Uberleben hexagon 6" by 1/2" ferro rod to my kit for the season, and you know, it worked fine today. I did the cotton ball, dried grass, sagebrush bark throughout the season. I'll use it on a variety of different materials. See, as I get more of this wore down, how it works and how I like it. At the end of the season, I'll make my final decision of whether I want to keep using the Hexafire or go back to the round. But I can see a little bit of difference, and since they're about the same price, I would rather have something that gives me a few more sparks, even if it is just a few more sparks. So that is it, guys. And by the way, about 2 weeks ago, you saw me pick up the Benchmade Bushcrafter and test it against my Becker BK16. First time ever that day that I ever saw one of these up close or ever held one in my hand. Since then, I've got to use it several times. The more I use it, the more I like it. Highly recommended. Benchmade Bushcrafter knife. Uberleben Hexafire. Guys, thanks once again for tuning in to Ochco Bushcraft. Have fun out there this season.